Yeah.
What's up, people? I'm back. Fred White, Tales from the Pen. I told you every week we're gonna come out with a new video with a little vibing session. And today I got a very, very special guest, my boy Big T. T, why don't let the people know who you are and where you from, my friend.
Hello, everybody. My name is T. Better known as Anthony Simpson. You can call me T for short. I just think it's a pleasure to be, being able to be able to speak with a brother through the internet like this because this is not, it's not normal. But hopefully we can reach to some people, and
Yeah,
this.
no, that's what it is. This internet thing is crazy, man. Let me tell you a little bit about T, man. T's my boy. We was up in the mountains together. And T, why don't you let these people know, you from Brooklyn, right? And how much time you did?
I did 24 years.
Wait, 24 years.
Yeah.
24 years, people. You know what I mean? And look at him, looking good, looking sharp. You know what I mean? I don't know about that jersey that I not thinking back, but whatever. We talk about that later. T. we talk about that later. Yo, T. So, won't you let these people know a little bit, like where you from? Where you grew up, and maybe what led to a little bit of your incarceration, my friend.
Good question. Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was basically raised starting from Crown Heights, but basically raised in Bensonhurst. Bensonhurst is the area closest to Coney Island. I grew up from the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, and when the 80s got here, like Fred, we'll be able to convey, things got, rocky. But I'm from Bensonhurst. I went to Lafayette High School. I did go to school, and at times I didn't. But what happened with us is, we get caught up in, in the lifestyle around us. And a lot of us don't make it because we're making these bad choices. And it's just about bad choices that we ain't making no more today,
Right,
and,
right.
I'm grateful, Fred, especially for you, man. Even meeting you, man. I wanted to tell you over the internet, and I wanted to tell Naquan, I hope Naquan is watching, man. I hope, man, when we met, that we had an impact on each other, especially in the times of struggle and crisis, because that was a crisis we were living on, And, I just hope I turn out to be an older brother, man, that, we all can respect and love, you know what I mean?
You did.
Because, the struggle ain't easy, man, going through stuff, losing family members, this coronavirus, there's always something, and hopefully, for the better, man. We get together, man, love each other like we started to.
That's what it is, Big T. That's what it is. So you did 24 years. What was your what was your original charge, T? If you don't mind me asking.
I was charged with accessory to murder. A friend of mine shot someone, and when you're down with somebody, man, you gotta go all the way. Ain't no, oh well, he did this, he did that. He was all involved. And just like you spoke with the other brother, I believe it was Ja. I feel responsible. You know, I feel that.
So accessory, more or less, you were there. Maybe you weren't the trigger man, and this is the kind of people. That's why we need to do these type interviews, because a lot of kids got it wrong. T. A lot of kids think just because they're there, they didn't shoot or they didn't stab or whatever, that it's all good, when they don't really understand the law to understand that your ass will go to jail just as long as the person who pulled that trigger, if you standing next to him. Am I right?
That's correct.
That's correct, right, T?
That's totally correct.
And that's the thing, and his living testament, living proof right here, 24 years. Oh my God. So T, we know you come from a big, let me tell you guys a little bit about T, a little breakdown about T, my man T. T is by far, like, of anybody in almost my 16 years in the penitentiary, T was the best baseball player I've ever seen. Actually, ever seen in my life. Like, even in like whatever. T was the best baseball player I've ever seen. T would, the thing is, we used to have that's the thing about the penitentiary, man. Sometimes sports brings people together, right? Sports, am I right, T? Sports bring people together, especially if you're good at it. And the thing is that, me and T used to play on the same baseball team, and we also used to play like when outside teams used to come in, right? See, outside teams used to come in. Maybe like sometimes they'd have like a church group that would come in, and after they play us, they just want to, do a little sermon or something like that. You know what I mean? And, and we would have the best 10 players in the jail out there, on the field. Correct me if I'm wrong. And me and T, and in softball, you got to have the four outfielders, so the two center fielders. So the two center fielders on the team was me and T were like, I think the only non-Dominicans on the team. Yo, T, we were like the only non-Dominicans, but we held the outfield down. Me and T held the outfield down. Correct? Right, T?
That's correct.
Yeah, we did our thing, football too, everything, man. We all T came over from Green Haven, and with a bunch of dudes, Big Bob, shout out to Big Bob, and they came over and they was on some sports stuff. They played football. Fred was the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, the sports really bonded us and bonded people in prison. You know what I mean? And that's how a lot of us got cool, and a lot of us, So T, I want to also talk about prison in general, right? And I want to talk about maybe like some of the stories, because that's what this channel's for. This channel, we're not glorifying anything, right? But we need to let these kids understand the type of things that happen in the penitentiary, man. What is like one or two, most craziest things that you've seen? Talk about it. Let's talk about that story.
Throughout my 24 years, I'm gonna give it straight to you, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this.
No sugarcoat nothing.
The brothers that's watching me know what I'm talking about. Right? Every day in prison is a bad day. Every day. Right? There's no good days. On the child, bells ringing. There's a fight here. There's a fight there somewhere. Officers are going through something. There's always something. So every day's a bad day. But there's a few of them that stick out for me one day. I'm gonna tell a young brother listen to me about this. One time I was in Green Haven, right? And they let the whole jail go to commissary at one time. That means 2,400 guys, 2,500 guys were lifeless. Parading down to a commissary at one time. You put a lot of people together at one time, you know what's gonna happen.
You know what's gonna happen. Tell them what's gonna happen, T. That's my boy right here, y'all.
I was young, like in my 20s, like in my 27.
Okay.
I went to commissary like everybody else in the afternoon. And I got there and I was talking with this little Spanish guy. I had a little Spanish friend of mine. We used to get together at law library, different places. So we decided to get together at commissary on this day. This was the very first time they put all the jail and everybody could go at the same time, because at one time you only could go to commissary through the gallery. Anyway, when I got there, they got, you got guys still in jail that still want to be tough. You got guys that just, you bring that stuff from where you grew up at, and you bring that stuff to jail. And what happens is, man, you really come to meet your maker there, because everybody wants to be tough. That's what it seemed like. Everybody want to be known to be, whatever you represent, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens.
Because that's a lot of it was a lot of borough stuff. Hold on, you froze. I'm gonna pause. But yeah, back then was a lot of borough things. So 2,500 people going to commissary. People who don't know, from people all over the world who watch this show, commissary is like a store. You go there every 2 weeks. You're allowed to spend a certain amount of money, and every 2 weeks you get a sheet. You fill it out, you turn it in, and then the next day you go and you pick up the food that you put on the list. So it's like a store. Some states call it canteen. Some people in New York, we call it commissary. So there's 2,500 people, all trying to go to commissary at one time. Go ahead, T.
Right. The point I'm trying to make was the reason why they stuck out to me, right, is because, in jail and prison, like I said, we get a lot of people that there's a lot of emotions, a lot of, people that ain't never been in a situation. It's a lot. So you put everybody all together. And what happened was, on this day was about 7 guys approached me and a little Spanish guy. And their intentions was to take the young Spanish guys to commissary, right? So, it ain't like I ain't never seen this kind of nonsense before. But you're doing this kind of stuff in a maximum facility where everybody is doing life. I didn't think that would turn out too well. This one sure did. After they took the guy's commissary, to make a long story short, they filled the sheet out. They coasted him to the front door of the commissary. They took his stuff and went away. Long story short, this guy couldn't have been no more than 140 pounds, about 5'6", right? The guys that took his commissary, all of them was at least close to 200, buck 85, they were a bunch of bullies. But in any event, long story short, when the yard opened that day, right, those same guys that took that guy's commissary, I'm going to use one guy's name with Jamel. I'm going to put him out there, Fred.
Wait, didn't he give him the knife?
Yeah, I'm going to put him out there, Fred, because on our way leaving the commissary, the young guy pulled out like about two 10-inch knives. I'm talking knives better than knives you make in the world. He passed it to two of his buddies. He told them, yo, meet me in the yard. So instead of him, Fred, he could have stabbed him up right there, But instead he said, no, meet me in the yard. This is gonna be even better. This is gonna be where everybody can see what's going on, right? Long story short, when the yard came, Fred, those guys act like they was out there ready, right? So the big guy, Jamel, he says, no what, I got him. He took that same shank that the young kid gave him and swung one time. That's all he had to do was swing one time. He didn't hit nothing. But the little guy, that guy stabbed him 36 times. 36 times. They hit him 18 times the first time, about 12 times the second. You know what I mean? And the moral of that story is, you can't judge a book by its cover. You see a little guy, you think he's a punk. Well, that punk was there for a reason. And it was obvious that this guy here, I call him Zorro, because I ain't never seen nobody get cut that bad. I watch TV. I've seen stab fights in every jail I've been. Rikers Island, Elmira, Attica, Greenhaven, wherever. But I ain't never seen nobody get done up like that, right? And the reason why we give these stories is for these young people, man, yo, don't do jail. You ain't no tough guy. No, you're not. You don't want to do that. No, not. You don't want to be there sitting in every day being a bad day. You spending days away from your family and, while you're around guys that ain't never gone home talking about, like these rappers be talking. They be talking crazy, man. Let me tell you something. You don't want it.
Nah, it's true. It's true. I always heard that story and it was crazy because like they robbed him and the kid gave them a knife and told him to come to the yard and then, that's crazy that he gave him a knife and told him to come to the yard and then bodied him. Damn near bodied the guy. Well, by the next time you saw the dude that got stabbed up, how did he look?
He was about, this guy was about 6'1", 6'2", about 230 pounds. After he stabbed him up, he came back 2 weeks later, he was wearing 2 shit bags and in a wheelchair. Okay. The guy was leaking all over the place, his neck, around his head, red, like everywhere he looked, there was a hole, man.
That's crazy.
The thing is, it's not, they ain't worth no commissary, man. They ain't worth no commissary.
They ain't worth the commissary, but this is what I tell people in there. It's like, like sometimes when somebody asked me one day, they said, explain penitentiary in one word. I said jungle. Because there's all types of lions, there's all types of tigers, and there's all types of snakes that will bite your ass. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. And this is why I do what I do, and this is why I put these messages out there, like these stories. Again, I'm not glorifying anything. You know what I mean? But these are the type of things that happen. Like when you're there, you see wars. It's like it's crazy. Like that. I know that story, so that's why I wanted you to recite it because it's just crazy. That dude gave him a knife, told him to come out, and then bodied him damn near.
Another one was the guy that hung up in Elmira. As soon as he got to Elmira, he hung up in the first week, right out. He only had 1 and 3. Everybody else had life. The moral of that story is it don't matter how much time you got. He only had 1 year. He couldn't do no more than 1.5 years. But he ain't living no more because he couldn't take the pressure, man, being in that cell like that and going up to a maximum jail.
He hung himself, T?
Yeah, he hung himself, man. Got the sheets they give you in Elmira. He was stripping, you can shred them a little bit, wrap them with a little light fixture, hooked up around his neck. About 4 o'clock in the morning, he was gone, And
We've seen that. I've seen that a lot. One time in the box, I seen this dude that I don't know how he did it, but they say like he wrapped like sheets around his own body and like put his arms in, and then he jumped off the top bunk head first. I'm just like, like the ways people think. I'm just like, if I don't mean it like that, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing any of that. But I mean, this is the type of things, because what happens is once you get in that cell, and I know you can attest to this, man. Sometimes some people, like you said, can't handle it, and it makes you go crazy. It makes you it makes you different. You know what I mean? Especially when you're locked away for so long, human contact, just dealing with people, and I find even that out here, the same thing. Like sometimes I know you know me, so it's all love, but people, I'm more antisocial, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't really trust anybody. And these is attitudes that we've developed going to prison young and learning you can't trust anybody, even though that's not really the case. You end up, there's always dudes that you end up trusting, you know what I mean? Like me and you know what I mean? Like there's always dudes that it's all love all the time, but that's ingrained in you, and that's still out here with me. Do you find yourself like a little bit weird adjusting to society after you did 24 years?
Good question, Chris. You never adjusted. Me personally, I've never adjusted to society the way I had before I went. And the reason is because maybe it was for long years of incarceration. But the time I was there, I surround myself around good people, man. That's what saved me. I tried to stay away from negative attitudes, negative people. That's what really saved me. You got to do the same thing out here. You know what I mean? It's a bigger world, but guess what? Negative karma comes to you, even when you don't expect it.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
I say what you put out, you're gonna get back,
Right. And another thing, what I did learn was, and I learned to be humble in the penitentiary. As hard as it may seem, I learned how to calm down. I learned how to speak to people. I learned how not to be so angry all the time about stuff that don't even matter. You know what I mean? What
Mm-hmm.
matters is health. What matters is your health. What's mattering right now is this coronavirus, not the president. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
What matters is your family. You know what I'm saying? How you get home to your kids, and how you eat. That's what matters.
That's gangster to me. You know what I'm saying? Your family and everything. So since you've been home, what you been up to, man? I know you got a couple little babies.
4-year-old. You know? I'm a little old in age, but guess what? I'm doing it now. You know what I mean? This coronavirus stuff, it pulled us all back, but guess what? It gives us more time to think about our health. You know what I'm saying, Fred?
Mm-hmm.
Your health is number one. It ain't money, man. It
That's
ain't
true.
money.
That's right.
Yeah, it's how you take care of yourself.
That's right.
You
Because
know?
you can't take it with you. You can't take that money with you. Unless you know what I mean? You're going to have it buried with you in the grave. It don't matter. That's what I'm saying. Family first, man. Family's always important. And those are things that we can appreciate. You understand? We've been through the struggle, we've been through wars, we understand that, like, what's important. Like, to me, my family is everything. Like, I got 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? 3 little babies, wife, and everything. Like, my family is what it is. And us being older, us being role models is like, is amazing, because we're role models to our kids. You know what I mean? We're role models to them right now.
You looked up to. You don't want to be looked up as somebody that swear to God they talk all the time. You know what I'm saying, Fred?
Yeah.
Because you know what, man, everybody got a soft side. I made a little video, Fred.
Okay.
And it's funny as hell. And the name of it is called "It's All Right to Cry." It really is.
Okay.
Serious. Because
Okay.
if you don't, guess what, man? If you don't let some of them feelings out, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
You could be violent.
You're gonna
You could violent
explode.
and let that stuff go on somebody that ain't got nothing to do with whatever your situation is.
Mm-hmm. Jim Valvano said that in his speech, that major, the speech that they play every year. He talked about that. It's okay to cry. It's good. It's not, you know what I mean? It's all right to let those emotions out. Nah, I get it, man. You know what? But we're taught we're taught from young age that little boys, you ain't supposed to cry. You ain't supposed to show no emotion. You were supposed to be certain hard, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be a certain way, you know what I mean? But we know we understand because when that gate closed on me, T, I cried like a motherfucker, boy.
Hey. That's what. Hey, Fred. I don't
Yeah,
know who. I don't know who's listening. And Fred, me and you've done. We spoken to young people before.
yeah. Me and T actually have been to high schools, you
Yeah.
know, and you know, and spoke to kids. That's, you know, we've done that out here. You know, I know him. We I don't just know him from jail. I know him from out here too.
We did that on Atlantic Avenue, Fred. Let me tell you. You know what? You know all them kids locked up, Fred. I went and found out all them kids locked up, man.
They don't listen. This is what it is.
You know, and
Everyone thinks that their way is better, or they're following people. You know what it is too, ET? I talk about this all the time. They're following people who are just leading them straight to the penitentiary, bro. They're leading them right down the yellow brick road, right into it, because that's what they're following. That's one problem. And another problem is that, you know, you know, we don't, you know, a lot of people don't, the kids don't have that positive role model because, you know, a lot of them, you know, are being raised different. A lot of them don't know who their dads is. A lot of them don't know, you know, dad's not in the picture, dad's incarcerated, you know, so they don't have these role models to look up to. And like you said, you know, they're looking up to this rap music and all the rest of the shit that's not real. It's not real. It's fake.
yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
real.
saying?
They glorifying stuff that only happens for like maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Exactly.
More than an hour. That party is over. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to get back to life. Like,
Get back to life, because you know what happens is once you go to prison, you realize that all your boys, all your homies that you was in the street with, all of them, yeah, they ain't gonna send you a dollar. T. They ain't gonna send you a dollar for that commissary.
they ain't gonna tell your family hello. They get hi, yo, what's up with so and so? You won't hear from them no more. Basically.
Right. Or a lot of them die, and then what do? They put them on a t-shirt, keep it moving. That's just the way it is. Life goes on, man. You know what I mean? That's why you have to make your impression in life. That's why you have to, you know, that's why sometimes, you know, as older, you know, I look in the mirror and I say, man, what have I done? What, you know, what positive can I do? How can I change? How can I change somebody else? How can I, because it's about giving back. It's not about, you know, it's not about taking. It's about giving back, because like you said earlier, that, you know, the same way that bad karma, you can get that good karma too when you start doing some positive things, man. When you start doing, you know, making your own decisions and not following people that, you know, that are going to lead you in down a negative path. You know what I mean, T?
Absolutely.
So it's just crazy. And, but, you know, also we had some decent times. See, the thing is that I know every day is bad in jail. We know that, we understand that, and we always was on point. We always was, you know what I mean? But you meet, you know, and I talked about this with Ja too. You meet people that, you know, that for life, it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to see them for a year or two. Like that's, you know, it's family. It's all the love. You know what I mean? We had a nice little circle. I remember one time, T, you remember the time? I'll bring this up. You remember the time we told everybody in the morning that they got to bring all their paperwork up to the front? You know what I'm saying? By the pool table. We was in a little medium, had a pool table. We told everybody in the house, this is the truth. All y'all got to come up, and we having a paper party in the morning. We want to see your paperwork, right? Remember that, T? And the next day, but like 6 in the morning, they was knocking on our bed, and it took us all up to the front. You know what I mean? I'll never forget that. It was like 8 of us. They took us all up in the front talking about, listen, we hear anything else, we shipping your ass up to Canada.
Oh, yeah, they send you Canada, man.
Remember that, T? Who left first, T? Me or you?
Oh, you mean from Otisville?
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
remember.
you left before me, Fred.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay. That was
I
a
went,
sometime huh?
I went to Sing from there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah. I went to a different spot after that, a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Oh, this was a little bit different too. I hated Sing. Let's keep that clear.
Really?
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm
Why?
gonna tell,
Like most people try to get there because it's so close.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you right.
yeah.
See, and this is the difference between most guys, right? I couldn't stand Sing Sing just like I couldn't stand Attica, right? But I would rather be in Attica. You know why? Because I know how it is every single day. The people gonna tell you, yo, you get online, we're gonna kill you. You step across this yellow line, you think you're gonna get, we're gonna put some blows on it. And you learn how to walk that straight line until you get up out of there. But when you go to Sing Sing, everybody's talking and doing what they want to do. It's like they feel like they're in the street, man. And it's nowhere near the streets. That's one of the filthiest, nastiest places in the world, you know? And it's got to be the most filthiest, nastiest place to work in as well.
Sing
I
Sing.
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't happy one day there. You know why? Because brothers was getting along too much. They thought that being in there was cool, you know? How about going to school and trying to work your way up out of there? Because they had some education program that everybody should have been involved. You might get a shot.
Right, right. I know one dude, he did like 10 years and he did it all in Sing Sing. And I'm just like, in my mind, I guess, we know, everywhere you get busy, but I'm just saying, it's just like his whole bid was there. He never seen any other Max. He never knew anything else. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, did he get the full experience? You know what I mean? Because like you said, up in Attica, those type of places, dudes ain't playing like a razor tag. Like, dudes, and not only dudes, but the police will kill your ass. The police will kill you in a second and then say you hung yourself like regularly and get away with it.
They put a watch down your throat and say you choked. They said you try to bite their watch off. You know that
You
type
have
of stuff.
you ever heard of stories like that or seen something like that, T?
I was there.
In where Attica?
Yeah, I was there from '84 to '87, man.
And
Let me tell you,
what was that incident? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one.
you know, Attica is like a San Quentin or Folsom. You know, Attica is the New York San Quentin. You know, everybody that goes there, staying. You know what I mean? And if it goes down, it's really going down. You know what I mean? When somebody have a fight, they close the jail down. Everything's taken real serious. You know what I'm saying, Fred?
Right.
And it's not the comfortable place to be at. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
no one wants to be there. You know, and and
So what the
it's,
police did that with the watch?
oh yeah, that's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What happened there? What?
there was a guy. Probably running his mouth or something. Probably thought that he could violate the rules. You know, some guys think that they could. I don't know, Fred. They think they can shoot off at the mouth with them people up there, man. Them people up there will kill you for the simplest thing, man. You know?
I tell people that all the time.
And I don't know if the guy was shooting off the mouth on the gate or whatever, but they pulled him out there and they killed him. Simple as that. They said he bit the officer's watch off, swallowed and killed himself. He was a guy from Buffalo, but long story short is, man, they killed a lot of people up there, Fred.
Yeah, and they get away with it. My little man got killed in Fishkill. You know what I'm saying? Now, Elliot, I talk about him sometimes where they say, this is the truth. They say he was in the box and he was beefing with the police. Matter of fact, O was there. So O was actually in the box when it, like next door to the kid when it happened. You know, O be home. O be home tomorrow too. My man, he's doing 4 years in the feds. I think he'll be home tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, O be home this week. But he was next door, so that's how I know the story so well. Was that Elliot was beefing with the police, and they say that he was doing push-ups, okay, off his sink, off the toilet, right? The legs up, the parallel, you know what I mean? And that he had washed his hair, so the floor was wet, and as he was doing push-ups, his hand slipped on the soapy floor, and he broke his neck. Look at my face, T. And guess what? You know what? There was a big investigation about that, and some of the police end up having to go to a different jail. Like that was their point. Like it was no charges. Like there was no, like they should have been locked up too. They should be locked up just, like the people that they were, governing. You know what I mean? But they went in that cell. Oh, told me, he said he heard the struggle. He heard, what I mean? He heard everything, and it was just, but and then IG, and when they came to do investigations, they bypassed them. They didn't even want to hear nothing. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy that that I know of a lot of people, but this story is personal because I knew Elliot. Like I knew him. You know what I'm saying? We was in Kaksaki together, and it was just so crazy that he slipped doing push-ups and broke his neck. I mean, we're smiling, but it's not funny, right? You know what I mean? It's just that what the message we're trying to say is once you get in that system, there's no telling if you're coming home. You know what I
Okay.
mean? There's no telling because like I tell people when you get off that bus T upstate, it's a bit different than Rikers Island. It's a bit different, right?
Oh,
Because all them country dudes up there is different. All them country boys, they don't like city boys. You understand? They don't like.
everybody got a problem with each other.
Yes, they don't like this, in their mind, they don't like these city boys. And a lot of people ask me, but Fred, because of your skin color. And I'm like, no, actually, I was hated on more because they look at you like you're one of us and you're a prisoner, you're a piece of shit. They don't care about none of that. They don't care about your skin color. They don't care about none of that. You're from the city, and you can get it too, man. And that's the thing. And again, they get away with it, man. And that's why I do these type things, man, to bring light to these type things, so these kids understand, man. It's not a game. Like you may think, all right, I'm just gonna go take these 2 years and come home, but that might not happen.
Might
It
not make
might
it
not
happen.
happen. Well, I forgot his name, man. He used to ref the games with Dap. Short dude, he caught a body and off the kill. Remember him? He only had like a 1-3, and he
I know,
caught
I
he
know you
caught he huh?
there's some
Huh? I can't hear you, Tay.
guys that just refuse to do their own time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The judge gave you whatever amount of sentence, and you decided, you know what? Why don't I go deal with homeboy and get with some of his business? That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take my 17 and a half to life, and I'm gonna go get down with. You get an assault charge, you know what I mean? Or you cut somebody, that gives you a third felony. That makes you a three-time loser.
Yeah.
You can become a three-time loser right there just for a little simple fight.
Life.
Well, knowing that, you know, let's just erase some of the negative attitudes that get us in these situations and focus on the good things that we can do better, like play ball, socialize, party, whatever, go over, whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because every
it's
night
it's so much better. It's so much better.
it's so much better not being a gangster. I don't want to be in a box or none of that.
Right. No, me neither. Let me ask
I'm,
you.
I'm not a tough guy. I've been the
let
first
me
one.
ask you let me ask you T, is there still stuff that sticks with you as far as like something that maybe like for me, like when I first came home, for instance, I wore my slippers in my shower. You understand? I wore my
Okay,
slippers in my shower, like, because that's how I was trained. You know what I mean?
right,
That's how I was taught. And I
right.
also, even for like months, I would still keep my drawers on in the shower, and wash them in the shower. You know what I mean? Do you have anything like that you came home and was like, that you kind of still do in a sense?
I got a couple of them I'm not even aware of, but one of them I have for sure. It's been with me for 14 years since I've been home. I turn the water on. I leave the water running because I'm so used to hitting some stupid machine water thing and it just running and cutting off lights. That's how I work in the penitentiary. So I'll be in the bathroom. I'll take a shower. I'll turn the water on, and I'll just leave, forgetting hearing the sound of the water and forgetting that water's on. I don't flood the bathroom and flood everything up already. I'm still, I'm still, you know what I mean?
Right, right. Here's the thing. You can't do.
They're all like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't do 24 years and be considered, like what society thinks is normal. Like you just can't. You can't because you have a different mentality. You have different morals and standards. Like when you're raised in the jungle and then you're put in a paradise, it's just like a weird thing. It's like you was raised by lions
Here,
and now they want you to be civilized and maybe talk a certain way or hold your fork a certain way, and it's like just different things, you know?
Hey, Fred,
Yeah. Go.
you still there?
Yeah, I'm good. We good.
Oh, another thing we have is we sense negativity like violence from afar. Like we could be on a train or something, and you just feel something's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's from that's from just being, I don't know, sitting around a lot and just focusing on.
Yeah, you know why? Because our senses are heightened, you know, like our senses are always up because like when we go in the yard, we can tell like, you know, these dudes over here, they all got their hoodies on walking around and it's 92 degrees out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's play the wall. Like these are instincts that like I said, this is what I mean. Like normal society wouldn't understand maybe why we're a certain way. Another thing that I do is that like if I'm in a restaurant, T, or I'm in a place of establishment, I'm always got my like I never have my back to the door. I always have to look at the door and I have to see. And if you walk past me, like no matter what, your hands is in your pocket, I got to look all the way to make sure that you ain't, you know what I mean? Just because, you know, and I don't know these people from a hole in the wall, but it's just in me and it's something that will never, ever, ever, ever leave me. You know what I mean? So you know, it's a different mentality. You know, yes, I'm a family man and all that, but I'm still always on point because, you know, also on the flip side of that is that, you know what I mean? That, you know, there's people out here that, you know, maybe I've done something to in there. You know what I'm saying? You know, when we was together, I done something to certain people, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, well, you know, those people are out here now.
It comes with
Huh?
territory.
I
That
didn't
comes
hear.
with the, like, you know what I mean? I've been through a few things too. You know what I'm saying, Fred?
I know.
A couple of guys just, you know, it just had to happen. It was either
Right.
me or, you know, and that's the
Right. Right.
type, you know, when you live amongst lions, everybody wants to be a lion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
Some
it's
guys,
inevitable. It's inevitable.
you got guys that want to mess with people because they want a reputation of being a tough guy, but they don't know the guy they mess with. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Right.
That happens a lot.
Yeah,
You
that's true. And that's the thing, man. Those kind of people are in there. Everyone, I explain this all the time. There's different kinds of bids you can do. If you're gonna be a tough guy, you want to be a thug. Someone's gonna find out if that's true. If you want to run around robbing people and doing all this stuff that's just dumb that got you in jail in the first place, right? If you're doing that, then you can't complain about your rough bid. Don't complain to me about your rough bid. You signed up for that. You signed up to do that. You know what I'm
yeah, you
saying?
want a career out. You want a career.
You make right, right, and you know, and the thing is that, you know, some of these dudes come back and forth in the prisons and they're doing the same thing, and then they wonder why they keep coming back and forth and not really understanding that they never changed their ways and actions in the first place. You know, prison is not a place. Here's the thing: a lot of people, society believes, you know, people are supposed to go to prison and you're supposed to get rehabilitated. But let's just call it what it is. If you don't want to rehabilitate yourself, you won't rehabilitate. You don't have to rehabilitate. You have to want to do it yourself. You have to want to do that change yourself. You have to want to say, you know what, this life is not for me. You know, I'm different. And you can, you know, and you can live that kind of life. And it's the same thing out here, bro. Like I don't have time for nothing.
None
I don't.
whatsoever.
Huh?
None whatsoever.
None. Yeah. I don't have
You don't,
time.
you don't have wasted time. You don't have time to borrow.
Right, exactly. You know, we're not even promised that. But the thing is that I've always never wanted, like, you know, if words could be on my tombstone, like, of my life, I never wanted to be like convicted murderer. I never wanted it to be like you know, convict. Like, but these are the words that people thought about me for a long time. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to change the narrative.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying to change this narrative and do this flip, you know, the negative that I've been through to this positive lifestyle so people understand, okay, you know what? Change can happen, but you have to want to do it yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of you too, man. You've been home all these years. no nonsense, because you know the recidivism rate is very high, where people going back and forth to jail. That's what recidivism means. People, you know, people going home, coming back to jail. You know, I know dudes who did 4 or 5 bids, you know, while I did the one, and I would see them in different jails. Like, damn, bro, why you back again? What happened?
Hey, because they call that falling back to the path of least resistance. Like it's easy to go back and sell some drugs, rather go hang out in the corner and get see. It's some easy stuff to do, you know. But the hardest thing for brothers to do, right, is to get your stuff together, get your life together first, right, and get on some legal stuff, man. Try to do something positive with your life, man, and then better things will come. You know, I'm not saying church is the answer, but let me tell you something. I started going to church, man. I started going to church. I started seeing things a little differently, man.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, seeing a little different. I'm not, like I said, I'm not all high and mighty with Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something. There's a spirit somewhere in each one of us that tells us we're doing the wrong or the right thing. You know
It's
what I mean?
true. It's true. Yeah, and a lot of
And,
people know the difference between right and wrong. Till they just choose to ignore it. You know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? Because and we can say that we like I can say that because I'm a product of that. I always knew the difference between right and wrong, man. I just always chose to ignore it. I wanted to get a reputation. I wanted to be, you know, in the hood. Like I wanted that fame that came with, you know, the streets or whatever. You know what I mean? And all that fame did and all that shit did was, you know, send me to prison for half my life. And like you said, like it's easy to get in trouble. It's easy, you know, true story. Even today, for me to call somebody, yo, let's go, let's make some moves, let's, you know what I mean. But what really is hard is that, you know, it is having a family, working, having responsibilities. Like really, what I'm saying is being a man. You know what I mean? Like being a man, and you know, and that to me is some gangster stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you raising your, if you know you supporting your kids, you working, you doing the right thing, and you
That's
staying
right.
out of trouble. That's gangster to me. Not running around shooting. Did you see what happened up in Harlem yesterday, man? Somebody shooting and shot
Uh,
3 innocent people with stray bullets. And one of them was an 8-year-old girl. Like him and the 2 dudes was arguing and beefing, and one dude just pulled out a gun and just started shooting, missed the guy he was trying to hit, and hit 3 others, including the 8-year-old girl, right up here in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? And that's not gangster to me. Like that's not gangster. That's dumb to me. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. Also, a difference in generations is, yeah, people were killing people, but you know, I grew up in the era, man. Like if we had something, what I mean, we was gonna fight. You know what I'm saying?
that's
We would meet somewhere, like yo, them dudes is coming, and and that's how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So
the most you could get is a busted lip or some shit like that, Fred.
right, right. So when I see these kids
For some nonsense.
for some nonsense, and you know what?
I'm
Now,
scared. I'm scared of these kids, man.
you know.
I did 25 years. I'm scared of these kids.
Nah, I get it, man, because this younger generation, they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like the respect factor. They don't have it. But then again, because they're being taught different values. They're
They think
watching music videos. They're taught different. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
they think they bulletproof.
Yeah.
They think that, like my mother said, they think that they shit don't stink. They think they can make a mess everywhere and no one have to clean it up, yo.
Right, right. Let me ask you one more thing.
Mhm.
Did you ever lose anybody while you were in prison?
Well, I think that's what we're gonna get. That's for sure. That's what probably hurt me the most, man. That's why I'm suffering today. I lost my mom's father. My mom
Rest in
died. My mom died in '95 when I
Rest
was
in
in Green.
peace. Yeah, we know mine died 2 years ago. That shit crazy. It still bothers
And,
the hell out of me. So
and for
huh?
the young and for the young people that's listening,
Yeah.
that's another key right there, right? When you mess your life up, you don't ever want to spend your last regard to your mother in shackles and handcuffs.
That's
I
what I
did.
wanted. That's where I'm going with this, T.
That's why I'm traumatized. I'm gonna give it to you straight, Fred. The
Right?
reason why I'm so traumatized, it wasn't 24 years, it was losing mom. Okay? All right. My mother didn't raise me to be running around the street, running around acting stupid, Right around. My mother didn't raise me like that. She raised me by herself. So ain't no excuse because I didn't have no pops in my no excuses. I could have came out and been a better person.
Okay.
I just hung out with, with people that I chose to hang out with, and I got what I deserved. But on top of that, I came out a better man. I
Yes, you
came out,
did.
I came out a much better man.
Yes,
You
you
understand?
did. Let me.
And
Hmm.
and and anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. But you gotta do it with love. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stop hating. You gotta stop hating on everything and everybody. They start loving a little more.
Without love a little boy.
Love yourself more. You ain't have to worry about it.
That's true. That's true. A lot of people don't love themselves. But real quick, T, not to rehash it, but when they told you, and did they let you come to the wake? Won't you tell people how you came to the wake, and how you looked in front of everybody else in that wake?
Okay. When my mother passed away, I was approached by my counselor first. My counselor had somehow made it to my cell. And he told me he had a phone call from me. He played me. He played me, Fred. Somebody wanted to speak to you on the phone. So I said, "Oh, sweat." I'm going down to my counselor, man. I got a little private phone call. That's cool. When I got to the phone, before he told me, he said, "Man, I wanted this to be private between me and you because I didn't want everybody around to know, you know what I mean, that the pastor wants to speak to you. There's somebody on the phone. He's a pastor. He wants to talk to you." So when he gave me the phone, I spoke to some gentleman who was a pastor at the place where my mother was in the hospital, and he told me that my mother was gravely ill, that there was a chance within another 30 days that she would make it. And then I got a chance to talk to my mother after that. My mother wouldn't tell me that. Long story short, my mother had spinal meningitis, so she suffered for months before she died. Uh, I'm going to tell you straight up, I ain't never been the same person after that. It's been since 1995.
Nah, I believe it, man.
If you would have met me before 1995, Fred, you would have met a dude that loved sports like you met. You'd have met a dude with happy-go-lucky. I didn't give a damn what race you are. See, I come out of Bensonhurst, so I don't care what race you are.
Right, right, right,
I don't care, Fred.
right, right,
That's not why we're here. I think the more races, the better. See, but everybody don't see things like that.
right.
And that's why I dealt with while I was in prison. You understand? I didn't hang out with just anybody, Fred.
I
I
know.
talked about what I wanted to talk to, Fred.
Yeah.
I didn't care if he was a little guy, a big guy, white, black, or Jewish. When I was an oldest guy, I hung out with a Dominican and a Korean.
Nah, I know.
See? So it didn't matter.
Let
Same
me.
thing in the
Let,
same thing in the
I believe it. You the same dude, man. You to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I met you after '95. But let me ask you, did they let you go to the wake or no?
yeah, they after I was informed that my mother passed when she finally passed,
Right.
they sent some nice officers. I gotta tell you this, I gotta give these officers a big up, Fred, because
Okay.
this is not normal what they did to me. Right? They treated me with the utmost respect and care, Fred.
Okay. That
There's
usually
something.
isn't the case. They usually shackle you. They shackled you?
They took the press shackles off me, Fred. They let me walk around Fulton Street. I was on Fulton Street for 2 hours, man.
What?
Yeah, yeah, they let me walk around for 2 hours, man.
T, that's crazy. Every other story. That's why I got to. I thought it was gonna. Usually it's shackled. You're shackled to the feet. You're shackled, and this is how you go into the wake. Normally, I want to let the world know and understand. Normally, they have two guards. They're right there with their guns, and you shackled, and your feet are shackled, and your hands are here to your waist, and you waddle around, and you're at the wake, and you get like a half hour, and you're shackled up in front of all your people, and this is how you normally go to the wake. You got lucky there, pal.
Yeah, they left the leg irons on, so you couldn't see them because they were kind of wide. You couldn't really see them the way I was dressed, but they let me socialize a little more than I normally would. And the reason
Okay.
why I give the officers a big up is because when I got back to the facility, Fred, they opened the jail up. Like as soon as I entered, they opened the jail up. They let me just walk around so I wasn't locked in. I couldn't understand why they did that, man. Maybe they did that to make sure I wasn't doing nothing crazy enough. Because I was still messed up.
Right. They probably wanted, yeah, they probably, a lot of times they put people like that on suicide watch to make sure that you are okay.
Suicide rush for sure. You know, that's my message to young brothers, man. You don't want to make that mistake, right? You don't want to lose moms or whoever you love the most while you're in there, because
That's right.
you never get a chance to tell people you love the most. You know that she didn't make it, man. You know,
Nah, hey,
I
rest in
I
peace to Mama Simpson, man.
I've never been the same person.
Nah, I believe it, T. I get it, man. Mine's only been gone 2 years, but it's like, I tell people all the time, like there's certain, huh?
I met your mom too down in there. What's that? I met your mom.
Yeah, I know, man. My mom's a special, so this is like, no matter what, those are certain things that you'll never get over, man. You'll never get over.
I ain't getting over
And
that.
I'm definitely different. I
It
was telling
bothers
my
me.
wife the other day, I'm so different, man. I'm definitely a different person. Like, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Yo, T, man, listen, man. I loved having you on. I
Oh,
appreciate you stopping by, telling a little bit of your story. Huh?
what, bro? What a blessing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Big up to Naquan and all the young brothers, man, that I ain't get a chance to see. I love y'all.
I love you too, T. I appreciate you stopping by, man. And I'm gonna bring you back up again, man, because I know the people gonna love you, man. And I just want to give you, major props. I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you have your babies and you have your little family and wifey and everything to look forward to, man. And I just want to let you know, man. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you stopping by, man. And it's always love. And I'm gonna see you soon. As soon as this bullshit is over, man.
Yo,
I'm coming out to Long Island, man.
I wanted to come over and watch the fight with you with Lopez and Lomachenko.
Oh yeah, that was crazy, man. So the next one we're gonna do something big. You know what I'm saying? The next fights we got to get together, man, like we used to, man. Things, you know what I mean? Things have just been crazy lately.
The fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, I love you, T. Thank you, man. And on behalf of all the Tails people, I know they're gonna love you, man. And I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Love you, bro. And on that note, people, you already know the motto, man. Experience is the greatest teacher, but somebody else's experience can be just as valuable if you pay attention and listen. And on that note, Fred White, signing off.